Hello everyone, we are live and that color is definitely going to have to be adjusted. That is really bluish. We are live. I think we've got audio. I'll wait and see if you guys comment on that. Tonight we are working on a cow. I'm still waiting to hear if, okay, we got audio. We are working on this baby calf, and that's redundant, huh? This little baby calf, you call them what you want, in charcoal. And because this is one of very few mediums that's pretty safe for me to have French fry in from beginning to end, French fries with us tonight. And he's been really clingy today, like super adorable. So you're gonna hang out? We'll see how well this goes, because we were a little late because I was just chasing him around the room. He decided to go on a fly around. But anyway, tonight we are working on cans and Inktense. You can bid on this if you are in the US on the finished drawing. The link is in the video description, or go to lachri.com. If you have any trouble logging in, let me know and I can manually log you out. Like you'll get an error code. And so if that ends up being an issue for you, let me know. I'll just manually, I should be able to log you out or reset your password, and that seems to fix it when that happens. So we've got that. What else do we have going on? Let's see, if you feel bad for the Bad Cow and Gibson not getting their super chats tonight, I made them both entire sweet potatoes to go with their regular dinner. So baked sweet potatoes. So they had and that's the best way as far as they're concerned. They definitely got a lot of treats. And then I gave them both half a raw sweet potato before we started, because, you know, I always feel guilty. So they are well taken care of for the night. Let's see. Also, I had some requests from you guys for a ferret that is scheduled now for March. I want to say it was March 19th. Is that on a Wednesday? I don't know. Actually, I can look. I have the cutest photo. I may be able to show you. No, I can't really show on this. Yeah, March 19th is when I've got that scheduled. So that one is coming. If you have any other requests, let me know. I actually brought my tablet in tonight. One, because French Fry enjoys eating snacks on top of it, like it's a plate. And two, I can actually write down notes. So where I'm always like, I don't have something to write on. I've got it now. Okay. Bless you, baby. So let me fix the white balance on this really quick. How I didn't notice that before, I don't know. I just didn't. Let's see, camera hub. That is camera 2. Whoa, you just got all weird. Much, much better. Now, hopefully that will stay. Much better. Okay. And a camel, maybe. I'll see if I can find good photos for that. That's definitely a possibility. I know, beep. Let's see. I think we're good. And I also, I don't know if it really shows. Look at my cow fingernails to go with the cow draw. Well, it's kind of blurry. But cow wraps from Lily and Fox. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but lilyandfox.com, it's $3 for a set of wraps. And they last so much longer than nail polish. If your nails chip like mine do, this stuff is amazing. And so they have the cutest, like I went a little bit on a binge shopping today, and I'm just trying to spread my bad spending habits to you guys. They have so many floral ones that just came out. So I bought like 7 today. I originally had about 12 in my cart, and I made myself cut it down. But yeah, $3 per free shipping. So really cool. Anyway, let's go ahead. I am not going to do a Madagascar cockroach raven. That is definitely, I can't even safely do jumping spiders without people kind of melting down. Okay, so I started by drawing everything out on my tracing paper, and then I used transfer paper to transfer that onto there. And the link for all of the supplies that I'm using are in the video description. I'm going to be using a combination of black and white charcoal pencils. Now, if you're new to charcoal pencils, and you're looking at all of the medium, hard, soft, and you're not sure which to choose, go with soft. I have extra soft, medium, and soft. Choose the middle one. That is kind of your safe way to go. It's going to, what are you doing? It's going to work for, you can do just about everything with that. Now the harder lead, it's going to be a harder, well, it's harder, and that means it holds its point better. You're going to get sharper detail, but it's not going to look as dark. It's not as smudgy. The softer the lead, so getting into extra soft, it smudges better. It's going to get darker, but it's harder to hold a point because it is so soft. It's crumbly. That's kind of the balance there. But for beginners, if you are brand new to charcoal, make it easier on yourself. Go with soft, even medium, you'll be fine with. So let's see. And then we've got, I may end up doing a jumping spider. B said, Spooter, I want to see a Spooter. I might do one and just people will know, you know, if you're that freaked out by jumping spiders, this won't be the night for you, or that wouldn't be. But the cool thing about jumping spiders is they are so good. I'm going to clean this sharpener out. I don't know how to open it. They're so good at helping people get over their fear of spiders. This is like stuck. Come on. That's what got me over it. Like I remember as a kid, we had this book of, we're going to get started on this, I promise, but we had this book of different animals and stuff. And I remember one photo was of a tarantula and I couldn't even touch the page. Like I'm using the outside. It freaked me out so bad. You want to talk about the icks? That gave me the ick. Jumping spiders are so dang cute, and that's what got me. Now I'm not afraid of any of the spiders. Probably I should be. Some you don't want to play with, but like it's crazy what the jumping spiders can help people get over that fear. So that is why, you know, I'll help. We've been having salami in some of my videos. Okay. Making a bad life choice and having an extra coffee. Okay, let's see. I am going to need my white charcoal pencil, and let me pull my sharpener stuff over here. I've got my shading tools, and usually what I do with the shading tools, I keep, why is that green? Okay, you can just stay in there. I don't need green. I will have one side that I keep super dirty and then one side for the lighter details. So that is what I do on these as far as, oh, that is a glitchy camera tonight. I hope that fixes itself. I may be able to turn this camera off. Hold on. Let me see, because I don't really need this tonight. Let's deactivate that one for now and see if that works out better for us. We'll find out, huh? Maybe that'll make this less, oh look, already less glitchy. Yay, okay, problem solved for tonight. I don't even really need this camera on, but whatever. And I'm going to need my sharpener, and let's see. Let's pull out a couple of pencils. Hard, so we'll use that for the finer details around the eye and such. Soft. Just pulling a few of these out. And medium. I'd like an extra soft if I've got one. Soft alone would be fine though. Extra soft. Okay. Extra soft is the biggest pain in the butt to sharpen though. It is way more likely to crumble. You want a super, like, really healthy pencil sharpener. If your sharpener is starting to get dull, it's going to break all your charcoal pencils. So this is one where it is a much bigger deal than usual. Okay. So I'm going to start, I am going to do a little bit of light shading here, right behind the baby cow. I'm going to lighten that up a bit. Not going crazy. And I'm going to see if a shading tool works well for blending this. I had a big one. Oh, here we go. Let's use a big one. If you have any questions, leave that now. I'll be answering those at the end of the video. No, Beverly, I don't have the hound cam tonight because you can see baby French fry here. I don't like to have him in the same room as the dogs if I'm not super paying attention, because if he takes off flying, I don't want them to like snatch him. So yeah, tonight we have the baby bird. And I'm just going to use this. Yeah, that's blending nicely. We're just going to get, and I don't care if it's a little bit sketchy looking. I actually like that with charcoal. And that's going to be personal preference. You can make charcoal look, like I was just talking to a friend this week about that. You can make charcoal look like actual hyperrealism where it's so realistic. It's up to you. It's a very versatile medium. But I also really like the look where it's just a little bit, like you can see the grain there. It's just a little sketchy. It looks like charcoal. I love, that's just personal preference again. I just like that. It's art. There's no right or wrong. It's both archival, so it's just personal preference there. You're being a good baby tonight. Okay, and yeah, the birds won't be able to be in the studio at all coming up here because I'm working on, I don't know if you can see it behind, no, you probably, where is it? Oh, it's back there. I'm working on a horse portrait, and so I'm doing the acrylic underpainting right now, so that's fine. But once I start in with oils, no birds can come in here for a couple of weeks. So it's like, this is just a perfect time to have the baby bird in here, huh? Him's a baby. Okay. And let's put this here so I can rest my hand. So what I have is a big just cardboard, and there went the baby. I'll go chase him down in a second. But a piece of cardboard with glassine on it, so that lets me set this on my easel, and I can just slide it around as I need. Let me go catch my bird again, because I don't want him nibbling on plants. These aren't bird-safe plants in here. So we don't want to leave him, like he wouldn't run and take a bite really quick. It's just if he gets bored. So I don't want to leave him sitting up there. And hopefully that won't be an ongoing thing tonight. It's mostly when I move something, he kind of spooks. And then he's like, oh, this is fun. I'm going to fly everywhere. Come here, baby. Come in. Nope. You're just having way too much fun. Whoop, don't go behind stuff. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Come here. That's a good baby. Okay. Let's go again. Oops, let me make sure this isn't something. Okay. Where do I want to put that? You can sit there for now. Okay. So I'm just going to start with his ears. Let's keep it simple. We've got a grayish tone in here. Now I don't want to go too white on the ears because we've got a lot of like white right here is where we want our brightest white. Over here is more gray, so we'll end up blending this down a bit more. And I don't want this perfectly smooth, so I'm going to do this a little bit sketchy. Now this will get cut off. I'm not even going to pull the mat up because we all know he's going to fly off. But the mat ends here. The mat will cut this. So if somebody wins this, if you do bid on this and you win this, it will come pre-matted, so you just pop it into an 8x10 frame. The artwork itself is a 5x7, but that's why it kind of chops off there. I will pull the ear out a little bit longer, a little bit farther than what, I know the mat will cut right there, but that way if I scoot the mat one way or another, the artwork continues. I don't just have a gap where it stopped. But I want that a little bit sketchy, and then I want that to fade in. So we're going to grab our tiny little blending stump and soften that a bit. If I go too light, no big deal. I can come back over it with the black. I used to use charcoal where it was just the black, and that is like, it's perfectly fine. You would work on white paper and just erase areas or leave white showing where you wanted. But when I started using the white charcoal in combination, it is just so much more fun to me. I really enjoy working back and forth with the white and the black. I'm going to soften that fur. You want soft baby ears? I'm just going to use what's on the shading tool to pull that out. Now, as this gets dirty, a big mistake people make with these shading tools is they think they need to be clean, and they think, and for good reason, I understand why you think that, because once I used to think that too. Where are they? I don't have one over here. The sanding blocks, the just little paper pad of sanding block that you're supposed to sharpen it and clean it on that. You are not. That is not what that is for. That's for sharpening your pencils. This can stay perfectly dirty. I have one of these. Actually, it's over here. This, I know I've had at least since I was in California. I have not driven in like 10 years. I had a truck that I closed this in the door. That's what that's bent from. That would have been around, I don't know, 2005. That's how old this is. You don't need to clean them. You don't need to sharpen them. They work great when they're dirty. I just like to keep one side for light, one side for dark. And I do the same thing with my graphite. You don't need these sharpened. And when people say, what happens when they get dull, or what happens when they get dirty? They don't get that dull. And if they are that dull, switch to a new one. They're very inexpensive, and I am cheap. I am like trying to save money, except apparently on nail wraps today. But I get wanting to reuse things or not run out and buy a bunch of stuff, but these are really inexpensive. So you're much better off. And I'm just using what little white is on there to get a little bit of shading in that ear. I want it to be a little bit lighter than that. I don't want to use the pencil because that would be too light, but I do want to get a little bit of texture in there. I'll come back as I shade more with white and add a bit more light inside that ear. Okay, let's get his other, actually, do I need the other ear yet? Nah, let's just start. I'm just going to start here and move my way out. So we've got the little eye, and I'm going to take my hard pencil, and I'm going to make sure that's in dark. And we've got the highlight here. And we've just got a tiny highlight because this eye is in the shade. So that's not going to have as bright of a highlight as the other eye. Now that is a mistake I see a lot of people make when they are doing pet portraits. One side of the face will get this great photo and one side is in shadow and the other is not. And they try to make the highlight the same on both or make the eyes look exactly the same on both. Well, that looks really creepy weird when they're the same on both when one side of the face is in shadow. Or they've got this beautiful photo where one side is in shadow and they try to make the whole face, eye, fur, everything as bright as the other side. Like you're missing out on a great opportunity when you've got a photo where you've got definite light and dark. Play that up. Like that's what we're always looking for in art. We want that high contrast, dramatic look. So don't waste it by trying to make everything match. It looks better if they don't. We're gonna come through here. We've got a highlight. Little eyelashes are pretty bright. And actually, okay, don't fly off, French fry. I just want my stump thing for sharpening this just a bit. Don't fly away. We both know you're going to, but I really don't want to chase you down again. But I also want my sanding block. I have multiples. They're all over the room. I'm just trying to figure out where I put one. Okay, stay here. This is not something worthy of flying off for. Oh, good job, baby. So these are the sanding blocks that I was talking about. You'll usually get a kit, like a drawing kit that has this. It has your shading tools. It has like all those, a sharpener, an eraser, whatever. This is what that's for. It's not for the other thing. This is going to sharpen. You can use it for your pencils. I'm just twisting. Oh, it's frozen. There we go. I'm twisting as I pull back and forth. And the camera is freezing, so you can't see what I'm doing, but just trust me, that's what's happening. And coffee. Okay. Now, if you are new to charcoal, if you've never used it before, it's one of those things that is it's fast and very, very easy to work with. So I really recommend giving it a shot. It smudges easy, it gets detail easy, like everything about it is just easy mode compared to a lot of other mediums. Now, if you want super, super high detail, or where you're getting into more photoreal or hyperrealism, or even more photorealism, work larger. That gives you the space to get all that detail. Now, I'm really watching the direction of his fur. I'm going to soften it a little bit, especially up here. And I'm going to sharpen. I'm going to push a little bit harder where I want that a bit brighter. Remember, we don't want this to be super, super white because we want the other side. Let's see, we've got a bit of a shadow coming through here. This one is the hard, just because that's what I grabbed. That's what I mean, like it's not that big of a deal. Hard, soft, just pick one. You don't have to use them all. And I feel that it can get very overwhelming when you're new to working in a medium if you're like, wait, which one do I grab? So just start your first project with one. Doesn't really matter which one. I want to let some of that black paper show through. I'm not trying to cover it completely. Let it work for you. That's why I'm choosing a colored paper so that I can let it, like it makes it easy mode for me. Now because I smudged this, I just picked up a whole bunch of white charcoal on the blending tool. So I'm going to use that to get that medium highlight, little shading in there. Buck, buck, chicken bird. I know, buck, buck, chicken bird. Buck, buck, chicken bird, chicken bird. He's more creative than our other birds in combining things. Or like changing the speed. That's always been really funny to me with him. Most of the birds do it, like when they repeat what I say, they do it in the same speed that I did. He gets creative. He'll go really, really fast. or repeat things over and over again, like buck, buck, chicken bird, chicken bird. That's not how chicken does it. He adds bits. It's really cute. I think it's cute. Beep, 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 beep. Also, I don't possess the ability to not talk back with him. So I apologize. It probably is going to sound annoying listening to me squeak all night back to my bird. But it's kind of like if a dog stretches and you don't say, oh, big stretch, you're obviously a sociopath. And I feel that's the same way when your bird is talking to you. You have to say it back to him. So we've got the shoulder over here. And then I'm going to pull some black up to define where the pattern change was. A little bit there. Now, nothing here is completely finished, but close. We'll come back and do some touch-ups as we move on. Let's see, we've got the fur and the forehead goes so many different directions, so I really want to watch that. I know, beep, 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 bird. Beep, 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 beep. I've never really tried to draw with him with me in here, because normally I'm working in mediums that wouldn't be safe for him to be in at the same time. So I'm not sure how he'll do, but I know when I do digital painting and he's with me, oh, that doesn't go well. He's trying to bite the pen, he's climbing all over the tablet, like he makes that very difficult. But he's so cute, it's like, yeah, fine, whatever, go for it, you can be bad. Watch that area around the eye. We've got a little highlight there. I'm going to use my shading tool to pull some of this white in. That gives me more of the gray tone. Again, I don't want this super white. Right now, when you're only working on this side, it makes sense. You're thinking, okay, yeah, make it brighter. Let it be white. But we need that contrast. If I go too light here, this isn't going to look light enough. So that's why I'm keeping it a little bit darker. Okay, let's see. I'm not including the fly that's on his face. Beep, 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 beep. This starts getting into the shadows, so I'm going to use the shading tool. And again, it just picked up white. Now, another thing that you can do, if you're, I brought paper in here. Don't fly off, I'm touching paper. I've got a scratch piece of paper here. I can take my white, scribble on it, and now I can lift it onto this, and now that's going to allow me to get much softer shading. I can actually draw with this instead of getting white that's just too bright for what I need. Again, I can just load that, just kind of lift some of that on there, scribble it in. Don't eat my necklace. Still don't eat my necklace. Stop. Still stop. I'm just kind of forming the waves. I don't need them all exact. I'm not like, there is not enough room to get exactly what's in the photo. I just need to get the hint of the direction that the fur is going. Stop eating my necklace. Baby bird, stop. Okay, stop. Stop. Am I going to have to take that off again? Baby. Hold on. Let me remove that. Don't fly off. This is not a toy. You have a playpen over here. I brought it in for you. Where's the hook? Someone remind me later. I put it over there. Okay. Oh, it feels naked. I never take that necklace off. That feels weird. It's your fault. Okay. Let me grab my shading tools again. Back to where I was. I'm not pushing super hard. Again, this is an area that's not really that white. Just building up which direction the fur goes. This is really the trick when you're working with any kind of fur. You don't need every strand exact, but you do want to watch the direction that the fur is moving in. How long are those pencil strokes and which direction is it moving? One of the mistakes a lot of people make, they'll do this. I'm drawing fur. And now you have weird confetti. It's just all the same and it's very flat. Like, yeah, you've got detail, but it's not good detail. People make the mistake of thinking detail for the sake of detail is what makes something look realistic, and it is not. Adding more lines is not going to make it look more realistic. Ooh, that's a nice sharpener. Adding more lines is not going to make it look more realistic. Are they going the right direction? And is your contrast your values? Those are the things that make your work realistic. But a lot of people, myself included, I think we all started there, feel like if I just keep adding more detail, more lines, it'll get more and more realistic, and it just doesn't. But bird. Okay, so here's where we start getting our first like white. We'll go ahead and map out where that's going to be. And this is where the fur starts getting a lot brighter. Right in through here. Beep, bird. Beep, beep, beep. Bird. So I'll let this be much more solid, and I'll do a few layers when I come back through to make sure it's really bright here. Beep, 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 beep. Ooh, my hand is sore. Is that what that sounds like to you? He's making the clicky sounds from the pencil hitting over and over. Is that what you think that sounds like? He does that when I'm typing. He makes the keyboard sound, and I type fast, so he does it really, really fast. It's so cute. I know, that's what you're all here for, to listen to me talk about how wonderful my bird is. But seriously, he's pretty amazing. Beep, beep. I'm just gonna lightly go over this, and I'm gonna lightly go over the black. Now, the cool thing with, like, charcoal is super forgiving. So let's say I decide I went too light on one of these. I'm just gonna take an eraser. I don't know where one of mine is, but it erases really well. So like a kneaded eraser, I know there's one on the floor because I kicked it earlier. Who knows where I kicked it to? Oh, that's missing. But it's just such a forgiving medium. We have that super bright highlight here. We've got a little highlight there, and I'm going to soften that one. Do. And if you get the markings wrong on this, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Now, if you're painting their actual cow, then obviously you need to be more exact. But in this case, that's a little off. I'm not going to stress myself out over that. Like, there's certain things I want to stress out about with art. That's not one of them. So this side's going to be a bit lighter than this, but not as light as that, so that'll have to lighten up more. Baby bird. You think that's funny too? I thought it was pretty funny. You laughing? You think that's funny? I'm very lightly shading this. So I'm softening it, but I'm not like scrubbing it in. I don't want to lose all of that detail. Ready, Raven D's at a headset for French fry. Well, he's pretty close to my microphone. I imagine he's I don't know how much the microphone's cutting out. He's not super loud. That's one of the things that's really cool with parrotlets. They are not nearly as loud as other birds. They're one of the more quiet. I think Tuna's louder than he is most of the time. Tuna's my canary if you're baby bird. Baby bird, baby bird. Baby bird. Beep, beep, beep. Okay, and we're gonna add a whole bunch more in here, and then we definitely wanna get this lighter. Now, if you have a hard time, if it's not getting bright enough, one of the things you can do is take Spectrafix, and before I map this and frame it, I'll need to spray Spectrafix over it. I'm not going to do that tonight because he's in here and I don't want anything that's sprayed around birds except for water. So what I will do is mist this lightly with Spectrafix, and then I can go over it a little bit and pull out a few more highlights if I need to. I have another charcoal lesson planned. I want to say it's in 3 weeks. It's a male lion in charcoal. That one's going to be a lot of fun too. We don't do enough charcoal lessons on the live streams, and it's so fun. So we'll start adding a few more of those in. Again, if you have any requests for a subject you would like to see on a live stream, or even if you're a Patreon member and you want to see a certain lesson in you can request a medium and a subject, and if I can find a good enough photo, I will try to do it for you. Except for the spider, or wait, cockroaches. I think that was what Raven requested. No cockroaches. I want that shadow right in the middle here, and I can come back through with my black pencil if I need to. We need to start getting some of this a little bit lighter, but not as much black, but I also don't want it nearly as white as this. So let's lightly shade. I'm just going to hold this to the side and lightly smudge over this. I'm not pushing hard, and I don't want to overblend. That's the thing with charcoal. It's so blendable. It's easy to just keep blending and blending and blending, and you lose the detail. I want to see the detail I did. I just want to soften that up. Look how nice that looks. Oops, wrong end of the pencil. That's how you know I'm a pro. I'm just looking at his hair. Where are the highlights? Pulling those out now. His whole side gets way brighter, so I'm going to push a little bit harder. And I can come back through with my dark charcoal to define as needed. And I'm going to soften that just a bit. And where's the hard one? Soft, hard. Let's get a few deeper shadows. And now I'm not just putting random lines. I'm looking at what's already there. Like there's a little gap here between the white. Let's use that one. Don't just keep reinventing new spots. Work with what's there, even if it's not exact to the photo. We can get a little bit more with the lights in here now. And then this, we definitely want a little bit lighter, so I'll push a bit harder. Let's soften some of that and smudge it out. I'm going to pull that around his eye a bit more. Oops, wrong end of the pencil, or wrong pencil altogether. I want to pull this white in, create a little bit of a highlight on the black fur there. And I'm going to make this highlight a little bit more. Not as bright as the other side, so we'll tone it down, but a little bit brighter than what I had. Okay, let's move on to the nose for a bit. We've got a highlight here. We've got the light catching the inside of that nostril. Now here it catches too, but not that bright. So let's see if this will be bright enough. We'll just take that. And we've got, so see how now it gives me that little highlight, but it's not as bright as that side, which I don't want it to be. Highlights again, so I'll be doing a lot of, let's scribble more on this paper and use that to lift. Oops. Monica said, I'll join the Patreon just to get my painting critiqued. When is the next one? I don't have another critique scheduled, but we will do one sometime soon. I'm not sure when. I do those every few months, normally. We've got little cow freckle marks in there, a little bit of texture looking like blotches, so we'll pick some of that up. This can still be lighter, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to lift it off here. Let's lighten some of this. And then I can use the hard pencil. We've got to get some detailing in the fur here. I want to make sure that nostril's nice and dark and fades out. Same thing here. Let's keep that clean. And then this whole area gets really, like, that is bright, bright. And I'm going to soften that a bit. If you are somebody who struggles with your values, dark's dark enough, light's light enough, I really need to turn my airbrush off. Oh, I can't get to it easily. I'll do that later. I'm pretty sure if I bend down to do that, he'll fly off. But if you struggle with getting your values, light's light enough, dark's dark enough, look how fast I'm able to get through this so far. Work in charcoal. Like, that is so good for really mastering your values. I'm just gonna lightly, I'm not pushing hard here. It's just a bigger area, so I don't want to fill it in just with the shading tool. And I can smudge that out. Some of that's, whoops, a little bit darker. I don't even think I've used anything but, oh no, yeah, this one's hard. I think all I've used is the hard charcoal pencil, so you can see I can really get away with just using that. Define the line under his little cow lips. Right in there. I want to make this cow lip side stick out a little further. I'll have to soften that some, and then this definitely comes out a lot further. And this will look a lot better once we get whiskers in, but that goes last. So we've got the light catching right here. I need some more coffee. Actually, that's my second cup. I don't technically need more. Probably should not have more, but whatever. Okay, we've got the light really catches here. Now there's a line, if you look at the reference photo that comes straight down here, I did not include that because he's wearing something around his neck. that I'm not including in the artwork. And this mostly gets chopped off just about right at the chin. And we get more out of focus here, so it's going to be more solid. You're not really putting in all the detail of the lines as we move away from the face. So you can see I've worked more in circles, just shading that in. Now, right now, his neck and his chin look to be about the same. I need the chin to actually be a lot darker than that. So we're going to come through. I'm going to use the soft because it's going to smudge nicely. And I'm just going to darken this up, and I'll blend that in with the white. I'm moving the pencil the direction that the fur is. Now I'm going to use the other side. Let's make sure I don't have a ton of white on it to smudge that. And then I'm going to come right under, let's see, this comes right about here, and then down. And I'm pushing much harder where the white is. Again, most of that's not going to show once it's matted. You're still back there, yeah. Sometimes he flies off, but he doesn't weigh anything, so I don't notice. Okay, let's move on to the ear. No, it doesn't mean I'm done with anything on the face, but we're getting there. I also want to make sure, so the face comes here. I need to make sure that it looks like that's his, because right now it looks like this is all one thing. It's actually part of his face. It's the markings. I'm going to cover some of the white markings so that it makes it more obvious. Okay. So we've got a little bit of a highlight here. We're going to pull that up and around. Again, this is where it cuts off with the matte, but I'm still going to continue anyway, just so if I scooch them out one way or another, I don't have to worry about the blank paper showing. Pull that shadow around, and then I'm going to also, I can't really see much in the reference photo because it's so dark right there, but I still want to get a little bit of detailing with the fur, not too much. We're going to soften that out. I'm going to define the other side a bit more too. Let's just do this so I can see where I'm matching that to. I can always come back through with my black pencil if that ends up being too like in your face bright. Okay, and for his little body, or hers, I don't know. Oh, apparently it's a her. She just told me her name is Abigail, which is hilarious because I don't know how to spell Abigail. She had to pick a name I couldn't spell. And the Abigail I'm assuming is watching. This just means you now have to draw an Abigail yourself. Like, you have no choice. She's named after you. You have to draw it. Okay, now that body has way too much detail. We're going to soften that out. I want some of it, but not that sharp. See how in softening that, I can still see those lines. It's important that the lines are going in the right direction. Let's go a little bit back here with the white. Actually, I want that to be not as bright. Let's start by doing this and we'll add to it if we need to. I want her to fade out in the back there. Okay, now I've got white. See how I had pulled the white here? Well, now I don't have contrast between the body and the ear. So let's pull some dark hairs over, which should have been dark anyway, or it has a lot of dark. So that works. Oh my gosh, we're not even at 9 and we're almost done. We've got some time for some detail, that's for sure. See what I mean? Charcoal is so fast. Like you can get so many charcoal pieces in. So if you know, here's my weak spot. It could be getting detail in leaves. Maybe your leaves are just not detailed enough. Maybe like your trees don't look quite the way you want them to be. You're not doing a great job with eyes. You feel like you're not doing a great job with portraits. Whatever it is that you feel you need more work on, practice it in mastering it with charcoal. I think we get the misunderstanding that it's about the medium. I have to master charcoal, then I have to master acrylics, then I have to master, no. There's a little bit of truth to that. You got to get the hang of the medium. But the reality is, if you're good at well, the more I talk, the more he talks, the more you understand the basic concepts of art, contrast, accuracy, where you want a harsh line versus a soft line, those sorts of things. That applies no matter what medium you're working in. So why not master those? That's the hard part about art, is mastering those. Master them in charcoal. You can get, you'll progress faster because charcoal's fast. You can get a sketch like this done in an evening. Like that is so fast, and it's really going to perfect your skills that much faster. I know you're a good baby. So definitely charcoal, seriously. And it's like the cheapest medium to get into. So that I cannot recommend it enough. You will improve so much if you just spend some more time focusing on your challenged areas. Like just do studies, a whole bunch of studies in a sketchbook. You don't even have to get good paper, get a sketchbook. I'm using this just to pull some of those highlights so the black isn't flat there. I know, baby bird. Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. Is that here, kitty, kitty, kitty? Here, kitty, 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 kitty. I'm going to switch to a softer lead. So that gets a lot darker right in there. Most of this gets chopped up. You're not even going to see it. So now I'm going to start pulling some of those deeper darks into areas, and I'm just going to use that soft lead. I don't know how much that'll show up on the video, being that much darker. Chick bird. Whiskers are going to make a huge difference once we get to that stage too. I don't know what that was you just said. Buck, buck, chicky bird. Get some little ear wrinkle right in there. Get a little one in there. Even though I can't see it, I know it's there. I'm going to soften that out though. I don't want it that sharp. And the great thing too, charcoal is just so forgiving. If something goes terribly wrong, you don't need to start over. I mean, you can, it didn't take you that long, but it's just really forgiving to fix things that you're like, oh, that was too light, that was too dark. It's so easy. Yeah. This again is that soft lead. I'm just pulling some of those darker areas out. I need some more light in here though. Beep, 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 bird. Oops. Let's do a little bit more scribbling there. I'm going to have to use my pencil for a little bit of a highlight here. A little bit one there too. And this is a little bit too harsh. Let's soften that. And then this whole area could use a little bit of work. I need to make it more obvious that this is the black. So let's take some of that black and really darken that up. I love this. This is always my favorite part of any artwork, is having the ability to just take like those last like minutes, just taking the little bit of extra time, doing the final details. Oops. Let's see. Okay, so we've got a, Pat, you are trying to get logged into the site. Let me fix this. So you said, okay, you're talking about Patreon specifically. If you're watching right now, it's saying you're not logged into anybody. I'll take care of that because that doesn't look like you're trying to bid. That sounds more, if you're trying to bid, email me back if you're watching. But if you're talking about Patreon specifically, I will look up and see if I can find your account and figure out what's going on there. Because sometimes one of the things that happens a lot, my website is not Patreon's website. Like I have a Patreon account where I upload all my lessons, but also I have my personal website where I sell my artwork, and I advertise my lessons, and I have my video library. So that makes it confusing, and I get that, but it's like the best I could do with, you know, I know, peekaboo baby bird. So sometimes people will try to log into my website thinking they're logging into Patreon, and it just gives them an error because it's not the same. So if you're trying to log into, like, we'll have to sort that through or sort that out later. If I don't get back to you tonight, message me again. Peekaboo, baby bird. What was that? Okay. I'm going to sharpen my pencil a little. Whoops, no, I'm going to use that good sharpener I had. And I'm just using these little Coom metal pencil sharpeners. These are my absolute favorite sharpeners. I went with electric sharpeners for a while, and they're good for some colored pencils, but if you get a bad one, which I did, I had to replace one of mine because there was no way to change the blades. So I got a new one, and that one was just nothing but problems. So I went back to using the Coom sharpeners. They're inexpensive, and they just work really well. Peekaboo, baby bird. I don't have to plug anything in. They can just sit on my easel in front of me. Peekaboo, baby bird. So remember, we need this side much brighter. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. What was that? What are you doing? I thought you'd want your place stand. I brought that in for nothing. Peekaboo, baby bird. He's been really clingy all day. Like every time I walk in my office, he's been jumping to my shoulder. I mean, partially, he's trying to get extra treats, but it works, huh? Buck, buck, chick bird. So this one is the hard ledge, so it's going to give me more details. Baby bird. Baby bird, baby bird. Do-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. Do-dee-doo-dee-doo. I'm just hitting the tips of some of these bits of fur. I'm working with what's already there. Jason said, did French Fry chase the dogs out? No, French Fry started the night out with us tonight. There's not many times where I'm working in a medium he can be in here for. And he really wanted to spend time with me today. Like, he's been really, every time I walk in there into the office, he flies to my shoulder. So I decided it was a good night to let him hang out. Peekaboo, baby bird. So super chats tonight, get him pistachio treats. Just working on my values and then those final details. Again, if you want to bid on this guy, the starting bid is $70 and the link is in the video description if you are in the US. Baby bird. Baby bird. Do-dee-doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. Now this looks like it's kind of a cool bluish color. Let me see if I can fix that on the camera again, because that is not what it looks like. There we go. That looks a bit more accurate. Oh, a sea otter. Hold on. Did I not? Is that one of the requests? I'm going to write that down right now because that is a great suggestion. Notes. Baby bird. And I can do most subjects in charcoal because it's so much faster than other mediums. So even if it's something that would be like, just take me way too long with anything else, we can do it with this. Baby bird. Some little hairs on the nose right there. And then it flips back the opposite direction. Like, it's just really paying attention to the direction of fur. You don't need the same amount of detail, but you do want it going in the right direction. Baby bird. That I like. This I want to be a bit brighter, coming down in here. So we're going to work our way over that. Pull some of that into the nose area, or the bridge of the nose. Oh, we have from Nick said, even French fries need food. A super chat. You've got treats. I've got in my pockets too. Wait till you see what you got. You want a treat? Here, baby. Say thank you. I can't get too excited or he'd probably fly off. That's pretty tasty though, huh? He's obsessed with pistachio. That's actually how I got him over. He was really weird about hands. Like if I would have just put my hand, I mean, I move slow to make it easier on him, but if I put my hand up like this, he used to fly off. Like, he never bit. He was just like, would bolt. Once I got him hooked on his pistachios, my gosh, he is just, like, we're training him like to come when called. Well, he knows what it means, but it's like calling a cat. They're gonna do it if they're in the mood. What else like everything that I've been working with him on, he now lets me give him head scritches. Like, he's a completely different bird because of pistachios. We've got another one for you. You want another super chat? Are you still working on that one? From Patty. Thank you so much, Patty and Nick. Patty gave another super chat for the baby bird. Oh, that's a big one. You want that? You still chewing on that one? I've always got crumbs on my shoulders now because of him. Are you still working on it? I can't really see you right now. Baby bird. You want that one? Here. Oh, yes. He says thank you. I mean, he's not actually saying it because he's too busy nomming away on pistachio. He would eat nothing but pistachio if given the chance. Like, that is his absolute favorite. I'm just looking at where those highlights need to be brighter. Just a few here and there. I'm not pushing very hard. If you don't push very hard, it blends out smoother too. The harder you push, the less, like, it's not as easy to blend. Is that good? I hear a little crunching in my ear. Is it very tasty? Apparently that's how you get French fry to shut up. You give him pistachios. But then if he wants more, he bites your ears if you don't give it to him. Luckily, he's got a very small beak. Okay, let's give him some whiskers, or her some whiskers now. Actually, I've got a few more highlights I can pull out over here. I lost my phone. Oh, there it is. Okay, let's go ahead and do whiskers. I need to sharpen that pencil a bit more. Where did I put my sanding block? We're going to just twist that to get a nice sharp tip. And now we can throw in some whiskers. Pushing a bit harder where I want it to look like the light is catching those ones. Let's see, we've got his eyelashes. Let's make that stand out a little bit more here. He's got a couple little whiskers or eyelashes there. His eyelashes here don't stand out as much, but we'll just make them a little bit wider. Shape the side of his head a little bit better here. I need to pull some dark down. Same thing over here. Widen that up a bit. Her, I keep saying him. This is a her. Her name is Abigail. Okay. Now, in order to sign this, hopefully he doesn't freak out when I grab the mat. Actually, I don't even know where the mat is. Oh, here it is. I need to hold this up because a lot of this gets chopped intentionally, like it's not meant to. Okay, don't freak out, French fry. There we go. We're going to hold that up so I know where I want to sign it. I'm going to sign it right here. There we go. And you can see why I need to hold that there because otherwise I would sign here and it would be lost with the mat. So there is the finished cow, and I would pull her up like here to show you, but we all know French fries gonna take off if I do that. But this is actually really accurate to the final drawing. That's pretty accurate. So there we go. There is the finished baby cow. Wow, that was the fastest project. So yeah, that was, yay, cow. Let me see. If you have art questions, please, please, please send them now because we've got an hour to hang out. Let's see. What am I looking for? Oh, here we go. Let's pull this up. We have, Raven said, I'm switching to water mixable oil paints. Is it still a bad idea to have the bird around even if the OMS or turpentine is omitted? 100% terrible idea. I won't even have them around acrylic paints. I mean, once the acrylic's dry, no worries. But wet paint, people assume that the OMS is the only toxic part. Or even with birds, the thing is, even if something is non-toxic, it doesn't mean that it won't negatively affect birds because of their air sac. So I would not have them around anything. If you can smell it at all, that's a no for me with the birds. Now, maybe I'm being more paranoid than I need to be, but why risk it? Because we know they're super sensitive. I mean, I'm in a bunch of bird groups on Facebook, and every single day you've got multiple people posting, my bird just died. Why did it die? I'm devastated. My bird just died. My bird just died. We don't always know, but we do know that they are extremely, extremely sensitive to smells. Anything, if you can smell it, nope, not for me. Like my birds are kept in, so like Scentsy, I'll use that as an example. I love Scentsy, obsessed with it. I don't have it in the room with the birds. He is, like I'm not running it right now. Normally I have it in my bathroom and then in the living room. If the birds are out, I turn those off. I don't have it in my office where French fry and tuna, now tuna, canaries are gonna be the most sensitive of any species. But so all that is turned off. Heck, cooking pans, like non-stick cooking pans, that kills birds daily. Like all the time. So they're so sensitive to things that don't affect us. I will not risk it. And then we have to, again, we've got like acrylics, they're all marked as non-toxic. Yeah, for people. Very different than when for birds. And when it's wet, there is a gas there that maybe, you'll probably be fine. Let's be realistic. You're probably going to be fine. But I'm so stupidly attached to my birds, it's just not worth the risk to me. So I don't do it. Now, I will bring them in the room after I'm done painting. Like let's say I was painting in acrylics that night. I put the lid on my acrylics. The painting itself is dry. I've got my fan going normally. It's aired out. Then I'm going to be like, I'm not worried about that. And I've never had an issue. But it's better to be safe than sorry. And I don't trust them. Water-soluble oils, are not really less toxic. The pigment itself, depending on the pigment that's used, depending on the binder, like there's so many factors. Just because you're not using OMS doesn't mean that you're totally safe. So no. Good question. And no, maybe they dry faster. If you've got one that dries faster, that's less risk because it's going to air out faster. But it's still, I am not risking it. Let's see. Fran said, I have loved your idea of glassine on cardboard. It works great. Yay! Stephanie said, French fry is so cute. What kind is he? He's a parrotlet. He's a turquoise is his color. And yeah, little parrotlet. He's a boy. Well, obviously, because I keep calling him him. Neat birds. We didn't even know they existed. So we got chicken or cockatiel back in 2016, I think. Is it 2016? I think it was 2016. And then about a year later, I realized like I felt so bad for chicken because he was in a room by himself when I was working. And when Matt wasn't home, when Matt was home, he was always with him. But when like he had all those hours during the day, he's in a room by himself. And I decided that was just not fun for him. I mean, he saw me here and there, but not enough. So we decided we wanted another bird. I contacted Chicken's breeder and she happened to have parrotlets. I'd never even heard of them before. Like they were really uncommon back when my parents bred lovebirds and macaws back when like the 90s, the 80s, 90s. So you didn't have parrotlets back then. They were actually illegal to import. So now, ow, you're pinching my skin. That's a mole, not a piece of pistachio. We didn't even know they existed. So I talked to her about it, decided, sure, we'll do that. I was actually looking for a parakeet, like a budgie, to have in the room with chicken. And we ended up getting Nugget, who I freaking adore. I love Nuggets. I mean, he's bonded to Matt, so he plays with me sometimes, but mostly, I mean, he's definitely Matt's bird. So yeah, ow, stop, you're being a brat. He's trying to get my attention because he wants more pistachio. So apparently, stop, that means I get bit until he gets what he wants. Stop, and he's not biting hard, little pinches. But stop pinching, you brat. I'm trying to cover my skin with my sweater. Anyway, yeah, that is what he is. So they're more common now, but they're still not as common as a lot of other birds that you see. Stop. Monica said, I love you. Okay, Monica says, I love your art critiques. How often do you do them? So I do those every few months, basically when I start getting a lot of people requesting and I know there's going to be enough to do a critique for. So every few months usually. Speaking of critiques, if you are not already, for as little as $6 a month, you can become a member over at Patreon. That gives you every single longer tutorial that are like 1 to 2, 3, 4 hours long. They're long. The longer lessons, I've been uploading those since the end of 2014. So it has been over 10 years worth of videos. There are over 400 of them available. Immediately when you sign up, you get the $6 tier, you get every single video. I don't limit that to anybody. You get reference photos, you get access to our Discord. So if you want to chat with everybody, it's a nice group. You can share your work in progress. You can ask for critiques if you want critiques from the other members. We chat about books, plants, post French fry videos, dog videos, whatever, photos, whatever. You get access to that, so you get that community to be a part of. And what else? There's more stuff, and depending on what tier, you can get postcards or mini prints or different things sent to you out every month. Well, not every month. You are owed them every month, but sometimes you get 2 in 1 month, following month, because I'm late. I'm very late. I'm actually waiting for postage to come. I've got 2 sets, 2 months ready to go out now. So I'm working on getting caught up on that. But anyway, as little as $6 a month, head over to patreon.com/Lachri. You get all of that. So many longer lessons where you can like more detail stuff that I really walk you through why I'm choosing to do certain layers in the order that I'm doing them, why I'm doing certain parts. I explain all of that in those videos. Patty said, for whiskers on animals, how do you get a thin line with the charcoal white? My line is either too thick or not bright enough. Thanks for sharing your expertise. So I sharpen it and I don't push very hard, but you can do a couple of marks over it with not pushing very hard. The harder you push, the thicker that line is going to be. But it's also going to be more opaque. You just have to go with it in between. Those whiskers are never going to be as thin as what they are on the reference photo. So, I mean, they're going to be, where is my palette? There we go. They're thicker than the reference, but good enough. You know, they're close enough. Let's see. But yeah, obviously have it sharpened. And as you saw when I sharpened it, I use this and just twist back and forth to get that super sharp point, as sharp as you can get it. And you may have to sharpen after every whisker to get that fine point if you want it really, really detailed. But let's say it was too thick on that one. Come back with your black, the hard black pencil on the outer edges. You can thin that down by covering up some of the outer, like smooth that out. So you can make it even thinner that way. So actually, let's do a quick demonstration of that. We got plenty of time tonight. So let's pull up, let's go back over to the easel. And let's say, let's just use this side. I did my whiskers. I don't want to mess up my cow. Let's say I did the whiskers and they're too thick. I can take my darker pencil and just push it back, thin it out by coming under it. This camera might not capture it that well because it tends to make it look a little bit thicker, but you can just thin that out by pushing it back. Again, if you want to own this cow, starting bid is $70. Lachri.com. Link is in the video description for the direct auction. Art of Raven D said, by the way, I grabbed snacks and watched your pinecone finch painting you did a few months back. Who needs Hollywood movies when I can watch you paint birds? That is awesome. Also, I want snacks. She said, the Art of Raven D also said, my bird is staring at the screen, and I point at French fry and go, this could be us, but you decided you wanted to be angry. He's laughing. Do you hear him laughing? Although I can't let her on my shoulder. She might tumble off. Yeah, luckily, no baby bird. He hangs on really good. Joanne said, what is the difference between charcoal and pastel pencils? Charcoal I don't find to be as chalky, which is funny, but pastel pencils, they feel chalkier and they've got more, obviously, pigment. You're going to get your colors in there, but I find charcoal to not be as soft as pastel pencils. Now, it's going to depend on the brand of pastels you use too, so that will make a difference, but I don't like the chalkiness of pastels. Freaks me out on my hands, where charcoal really doesn't bother me that much, and it is going to have a bit of a difference in the brand that you choose, but yeah, the pastels just feel very dry, very chalky to me. Not pan pastels. Pan pastels are not dry and chalky, but pastel pencils are. Tammy said, Lisa, besides the drawing tutorials, what else do you have on Patreon? I'm looking for guidance and assistance with the business side of art business. So I don't really do that on Patreon. You can always ask me here on a live stream, and we can talk about that there. But yeah, I don't really do anything as far as the business side. You could ask questions in our Discord group for sure, and you'll get, various artists over there talking about their experience. But if you've got a specific business thing, let me know. We'll talk about that right now. Yeah, the tutorials, it's just tutorials, reference photos. We've got group challenges, stuff like that. It's very art, like the actual producing of art centered. But as far as business stuff, if you've got a question, we can certainly talk about that during the live stream, because it's 9:60. We've got 45 minutes. So we've got plenty of time. That's on my glasses. I cannot see. It's been kind of driving me crazy. You probably put it there. Okay. Are you good, baby? So said my boss's blue parrotlet died. She ate something poison. Oh, see, that scares me. That's my office is all bird proof. I had to change out all, and I had already done that for tuna, but I had to change out all the plants for stuff that orchids basically is what I have in there now. Orchids are safe. I mean, I don't want him eating a lot because it would cause a digestive upset. But if he did bite some, it's not gonna bother him. He doesn't seem interested in it anyway. He's got so many snacks that he does want that doesn't seem to be a problem. But in here, I've got so many plants that if he ate very much of it, it could be an issue. So like Hoyas were one that people argued back and forth. They were considered safe. So I used to have Hoyas in my office. But some people said that it was a lineated parakeet. This lady posted that it ate a bunch of the Hoya and both her birds died that day. So I'm like, nope, that's out of the office, not risking that. But I have them in here. But in here, the birds are never left unattended for more than like a second if I have to go let the dogs out or something. So yeah, we have to be really careful in here I've got a lot of plants in here. Actually here, no, I could show you later on one of the cameras. There's a lot of plants in here. We got that one. What? Yeah, Art of Raven D said the Discord is a pretty active community and great place to share your art, even seek help from others if you feel stuck, or even learn about our art supply hoarding. Oh yeah, we are always posting photos of new art supplies. Like you guys, you're as bad as me. You are definitely as bad as me. Joseph said, bird question. The neighborhood turkey has decided the peak of our house is its roost. Okay, not a question. Just wanted to let you know. LOL, still can't get a good picture. That is amazing. I call him a tiny turkey. Well, Loki's my fairy turkey. That is hilarious. With all your cats too, you think he would avoid your house. Let's see. Yes, it is not too late. If you want to bid on the cow drawing in charcoal, this is a 5x7. The starting bid is $70. I don't think anyone's bid, so you can get that for really cheap. Are you a good baby? How about doing a polar bear? I could do a polar bear. I can do seriously anything in charcoal. But yeah, I'll add that, a polar bear. And again, a lot of it comes down to finding a good reference photo. If I can't find a good photo, then I'll put it off until I can. But let's add that. My favorite notepad, seriously, my tablet, like, oh, wait, there we go. I have a digital planner that I use here, and then I love digital planning. I'm addicted to digital planning, but that has been so much better. I was going through so much paper, and then I'd have to scroll and scroll and scroll to find the note that I made for some random thing. It is so much better on a tablet. So if you have a tablet and you've not been using it as a planner or for taking notes, I like it so much better than the pad of paper. And the pad of paper looked terrible on my desk. It wouldn't work well with you. You just eat it now, huh? Okay. Any advice on pricing my colored pencil work by the square inch or by time? Your thoughts? That is a good question. Okay, so no name artist. That was the first point, and that matters. But oh, there's so much to take it, and we've got all kinds of stuff we can talk about on this, so good subject. Let's get into this. Not having a name, you're obviously not going to charge for as much. You can't people are not going to pay as much for yours as somebody else who has built a name. The buyer is paying for the reputation of that artist and the demand for their work. A huge reason of that, like artist A and artist B may be equally as skilled, but artist A put way more time into building a following. And that means there are more people that know who they are and want to buy their work, which means there's more demand, which means the price goes up. So, I mean, that's part of, there's so many elements, but that's basically, you know, the easiest way to look at that. So that is going to make a difference. But at the same time, you don't want to charge so little that, like, did you spend 2 weeks on something? You can't charge $80 for it. If somebody doesn't buy it, I would rather keep it than make $80. You know, like, just hang on to that. Plus, I like looking at old stuff. So that I wouldn't be selling for that low. Square inch is a good idea, yeah, especially if you're a newer artist. So newer artists tend to be slower. Not always, because I know some very experienced artists who are horribly slow, amazing artists, but they take forever. If they charge by the hour, no one's going to be able to afford their work. No one would buy it. So when you've got another artist who can get the same amount of work done in like less than half the time, that's going to be a thing. I don't like charging per hour or by time, and especially if you're a newer artist, if you're no name, there's a very good chance you are also newer than someone more experienced that has the following. So you're going to be slower. That's just a part of it. If somebody, like, I don't feel that, like, let's use web design. Years ago, back in like 2005, 2006, 2007, I did build web pages for some people, but I was slow because I didn't do it that often. I knew how to do it. This was back in the HTML days. I knew how to do it, but I was slow. I couldn't charge him hourly. He charged me, it was a real estate company. They charged me to build something for them that I could do, but it was going to take forever. It wouldn't make, like, they're not going to pay me hourly. They can go get somebody who can do it a lot faster. That just doesn't make sense. I wanted the money at the time. I just needed it, and this was a good opportunity. I'm going to charge them for the whole project, not for the time spent. I mean, you still have to give them an estimate on how much time you're going to spend, but it wouldn't be fair for somebody to be paying for the fact that I'm slow at something. Artwork, I feel, is the same, sort of. Like, what is the average time somebody spends on something? So you do have to factor your time in, but when you're slow in the beginning, I don't think it's fair that the buyer should pay more for you because you're slow versus somebody, like, they're not going to, than somebody else who can get it done, sell it for cheaper because they can get it done faster because they're more experienced, if that makes sense. Like, there's so many factors. Stop pinching my moles. There's so many factors to consider. Here, I'll give you a snack. You can get a free super chat. Here. I'm rewarding him for pinching my moles is what just happened there. I don't know why he's so bad. But anyway, back to pricing. I say go by square inch, and it's hard to figure out how much you want to charge per square inch because the following you have, you said no name artist, so the following you have does matter. You've got to get it in front of people. You need to build that name for yourself. You need to get it in front of people, but it kind of goes hand in hand in many cases with the more experience you have, the more of a following you build because you keep posting, you keep posting, you keep posting more work that you got done. You're getting better, you're getting faster. You can charge more. I'm just throwing out a bunch of random stuff. But yeah, I would go by square inch, not by time. Your time has to be factored in to an extent in coming up with the square inch price. I have seen artists that put months into work and they would basically be making like 10 cents an hour for what they were trying to charge for it. But again, here's another factor. How good are you? Now, art is not strictly how good you are as how much you can charge for something, but it does play a little bit of a role, especially with photorealism. So something that people don't really take into account that much with photorealism. If you're newer at photorealism, it's more obvious than if somebody is new at impressionism. If somebody is new at different things. Now, that doesn't mean that you don't need to be skilled to be good at impressionism. It's just that, like, when you get into realism and photorealism, if you're not great at drawing, it is obvious. If you're not great at shading and detail, like, there's more to perfecting that than some of the other styles of art. So it's harder for those of us who are doing portraits, pet portraits, and people want super realistic. It takes a bit more to master that. And so when you're a newer artist, in the beginning, you're probably not going to be able to charge as much anyway because you haven't really mastered that skill yet. I see this a lot. I mean, it's just it is the nature of photorealism. It takes longer to get really good at that. Somebody's going to get mad. Oh, it takes a really long time to get good at abstract. To an extent, I agree with you, because you still have to master your lighting, your values, and whatever. But you're going to get there faster in most cases than somebody who's working to master photorealism. So in the beginning, you are not as good as you are going to be 10 years down the road, 5 years down the road, whatever. So that's going to play a role in what somebody is willing to pay, sort of. I mean, at the same time, there are people who, if they found an artist they liked and the artist isn't even good at photorealism, and they paid more for that than the next artist over who has a name for themselves and does better photorealism. So you're always going to get buyers who don't. The reality, buyers don't know what they're looking at. They can look at two paintings. One is like technical skills, lighting, everything. As an artist who has, like, I've judged competitions, I can look at that and go, that was more skilled. There's so many things about this that are make a superior piece. But a buyer may come in and go, I like that one that's not as good. I want that one, and I'll pay more for it. You never, stop pinching me. You never know what a buyer is going to be drawn to. So there's that. Like, seriously, all these things, and it sounds like I'm just rambling, and to an extent I am, because I keep getting pinched in the neck by someone because he wants another pistachio, because you're greedy. Actually, hold on. I brought something you can have more of. We've got buckwheat. These are his little treat jars. How cute are they? Little teeny jars. You can have buckwheat treats. That you can't overeat. Pistachios have a lot of fat and a lot of calories, and we don't want to overdo that. Anyway, it sounds like I'm rambling about nothing. No, all of these little ramblings are things you consider. They all go into coming up with a price. If you're trying to make a living as an artist and your only way is, well, first off, I'm going to be real. People don't want to hear this, but you're not going to make your full living just selling art. That is almost never going to happen. What is he burning? I smell food burning out there. That's concerning. You're probably not going to. You're going to also make either selling prints, maybe, selling merch, lessons. Like, I like to teach, so that worked out well for me. You're going to find multiple ways that you're going to make your income. It's not just going to be from the art. But let's pretend it is from the art, and this is why you're never going to make it all from the art. How much money do you need to make each month to pay your bills? How much are you charging your paintings from? How many of those paintings do you need to sell in order to pay your bills? Probably more than you're going to realistically sell for almost every artist. Very, 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 very few artists are making their entire living just from painting or drawing. Almost never. We're selling prints. We're teaching classes. We're doing YouTube videos or making, there's always other stuff involved. But that's where coming up with the price sometimes is really hard, because how can you make enough on that painting? Stop pinching me. Okay, more buckwheat. I'll give you more. I'm rewarding him for pinching me. There you go, bad behavior bird. But yeah, anyway, I know I'm rambling, but these are all things that you have to consider when coming up for it. Yes, time versus per square inch, go per square inch for sure. You do have to kind of factor your time into that a bit. So there's a bunch of rambling about this. Gracious Valley said the Discord has helped others with business side of things a few times. Yeah, the Discord, definitely you'll get people that will talk about, for sure, different business aspects. So I guess we could consider it almost from that. Let's see. Tammy said, yes, social media. How the heck do you keep up with Facebook and its ever-changing algorithm? I'm finding it very difficult to get my fledgling Facebook art business page going. I don't bother. Honestly, I barely post. I didn't even post this. I barely post on Facebook. Is at a stage where it's, unless you can pay to advertise, if you can pay to post, I mean, you may as well. It's free. But if you're not paying to promote something, no one who follows you, I don't see any reason to build up a Facebook following when, well, let's use me as an example. I've got, what, 30-something thousand followers on Facebook. When I post, you know how many likes I get, which means how many people are seeing it? Well, not every, about 10% of people who see something will hit the like button. Same thing with video, like 10% of the people who watch a video will hit a like button. So if I've got, let's say, 1,000 views, I'm probably gonna have 10 likes. Wait, no, 100 likes. Math, I'm not good at it. I'll probably have 100 likes. And so Facebook's very similar in that about 10% of people are going to actually respond. So, let's say I get 5 likes. I probably only had 50 people saw the post. Facebook does not, out of 33,000 or 31,000, whatever it is, I don't know, I don't care anymore, it doesn't matter. And this is not what I would have said 10 years ago, but Facebook has gotten so bad that no one sees what you post. I actually like MeWe. I haven't even posted on MeWe better. I play around with Twitter. Twitter I don't think is a great place for art. Like, it's hard to find people through that seems to be more political and news coverage. But I've kind of been playing around with Twitter to see what would happen if I posted videos. Nothing. YouTube is honestly hands down the best. Some people will say TikTok, although who knows what's happening with TikTok. It's here, it's not going to be here. I don't know. I don't really use TikTok much, so that doesn't matter to me. Instagram Reels do pretty well. I actually do better with Instagram Reels than I do YouTube Shorts. So that's something to consider, making Reels of your videos, like quick little, sketches, just even a few of the sketches on it. You can record that with your phone. You don't even need a good camera setting or setup. I can't talk. So I like Instagram better than, I know it's all owned by Meta, but I like Instagram Reels. But the way the algorithm is, it doesn't even matter how many people follow you. It doesn't really control how many, like YouTube's the same now. I have 300 and something thousand subscribers, I'm pushing 350, 340, so I don't know what it is. It doesn't matter. Subscribers don't matter on YouTube anymore. I mean, a little bit they do, because when I first post a video, subscribers will be the first to see it, but they won't show it to everybody. They'll show it to like 100 of you. And if you guys don't click on that video, they're not going to show it to anybody else. They're like, no, people don't like it. We're not going to bother. So that's the extent of the algorithm, is basically the more people who are interested. Now, this is something, and this is true with Facebook as well. If you post something that is people love this video, they really, and videos do better than photos. If you post something that they love, the more people who react, comment, whatever, the more people, the algorithm says, hey, let's show this to more people. The problem is that's really hard to do. Now, an example of somebody who does a great job with this, if you look at Pinstripe Chris, he's on Instagram. I think he's on Facebook too. I mostly see him on Instagram. He's a good example of producing content. The way his videos are very, very popular. They get views because even me, I don't paint cars. That's what he does. He paints amazing cars. They get, like, the way he films them, they're interesting. People watch the whole thing, and the more people are watching it, Instagram's like, more people are going to want to see this. So part of it is producing good content. But I find that photos of artwork don't typically take off like crazy, usually, unless it's super, super unique. But I mean, I painted a cow, someone else paints a cow. This is not going to go viral. Tons of people painted or drew a cow just like this one. But if it's something really unique, really like impressive, that is going to be more likely. So good content is going to be rewarded, like the better the content. So as much as I'm like, Facebook sucks, don't bother. It's not, nothing is ever as simple as that. If you can get something that is really interesting, the videos do well. Facebook, I'm not in love with the Facebook platform in general. One of the problems is the age of people interested on Facebook. You are talking about a much older generation. The younger generation are going to be on social media more typically, but they're not on Facebook. So he's tickling, he's running behind my hair. Oh, hello. Did you want another one? So, you want more? I do. Yeah, I'm super like rambling and distracted tonight, but these are all things to keep in mind. And yeah, videos I definitely think do better. YouTube I still think is by far the best platform for artists to take advantage of. You're going to do better there, but Instagram Reels can do really, really well too. So I do like that. Like I said, Instagram Reels, if I'm going to do a short, I will get way more attention over on Instagram for the same exact thing that I post here on YouTube. The shorts don't do super well here usually. I don't know if YouTube just hasn't figured out how to get that in front of the right people. I don't know what that deal is, but on Instagram, they do really well. So those are things. But like how many followers you have, I would not recommend worrying too much about building your followers as much as producing individual bits of content that interest people, that people really want to see. That's what's going to get you the views. The followers, they don't even matter anymore. The only people that followers matter to are businesses. So like, let's say a company wants me to promote their product. They want to see all those numbers, those followers. But the reality is those followers don't mean I get views. Look at me on YouTube. I don't get any views on YouTube compared to other people who have way less followers. So one of the problems with social media is that it rewards drama. It rewards negative things. You can say certain buzzwords that are negative, that induce a negative emotion in somebody, and they're going to want to react. They're going to want to say, you're wrong, that's terrible, I can't believe this happened, oh my gosh, I hate this, I hate you, I hate whatever. They hate all the things. That will get more attention, and because that person felt like it inspired that negative emotion that they had to respond to, Facebook's like, oh, all these people are writing, this is popular, let's show this to more people. So it rewards negativity. That is a huge, like, I don't even know how the algorithm solves for that, but that is what happens a lot on different social media platforms. You get rewarded for drama. You post family drama and everybody else now is suddenly see. I have people that are on my Facebook friends list that I don't follow very many people on Facebook. I mostly just, like, I unfollowed most of my friends because it sounds terrible, but I don't care about your politics. I don't want to less respect you. Like, if you post a lot of political stuff, I'm probably not following you because I want to stay friends. I don't post politics. So I keep up with them, but I do not post about them. I don't think, I mean, I'm an art business, and no one cares about what I think. So I don't follow a lot of people, but I will suddenly have somebody that I have not seen a post from them in like years, and it comes up because they were having family drama and their family's arguing, but Facebook's like, oh, more people are going to want to see this. Let's bump that up. And I'm like, why? I don't care about their family drama. I don't even know who they are. Like, I have a lot of people on my friends list who I don't know. But it's just kind of weird. Like, that's what the algorithm does. Years ago, it mattered to build up your Facebook. It was good to build up those numbers because most people would see it. Like 70% of people who followed you on Facebook were going to see it. They're not going to see it anymore, so it doesn't matter. That's why I have maybe I'm being a little bit too, like, glass half empty. I know you're a good baby. Oh, did you want more? I'm sorry. Here you go, baby. I'm going to have so much buckwheat in my hair. Luckily, it doesn't stick. But anyway, yeah, the Facebook's just, I don't know. I just think as a whole, Facebook is kind of trash. I use it for different groups, like for food groups for birds, learning things like that. There's a bird emergency group I like to learn health stuff in. So just in case, you want to know those things. So yeah, I think Facebook's just trash. Instagram, I think Reels, if you can post videos, that's going to be really good if you can master that. And look at Pinstripe Chris. Look at what type of content he is posting. He's a great example of something that does well. So interesting, good content is going to perform better, or negative drama. You choose which one you want to go with. Negative drama is way easier, I can tell you that. Let's see. Let's see. Yes, if you are having a very specific art problem, you're like, look, I keep drawing and it looks terrible. I've been working on feathers. I can't get feathers to look realistic. I can't get thin lines with acrylic paint. I can't do something. This brush isn't working for me. I can't do this. If you want to take a video of the problem that you're having, show me the actual problem, what you're doing, the way you're layering it, send it to me. You can email me, Lisa, at Lachri.com. I will send you, like, you can upload it to Google Drive and I can download it. I will make a video response helping you solve that problem. But it's so much easier to see the problem and then solve it than it is to read it. I know you're a good baby. I think that means I'm out and would like another buckwheat, please. Here you go. You're welcome. Let's see. A lamb in charcoal. Let me write that down. Oops. There we go. Lamb. That is now on my list, Teresa. Horses on the beach. Okay, that is actually going to be, well, if it was silhouettes, there's probably a way to make that happen. Not so much. Anytime you get into plurals, it's not going to happen on a live stream. But as a general, suggestion, and that's one that's going to be harder for me to find photos of too. But I'm still going to write it down in case I see photos that would work. I know you're a good baby. Let's go. Let's see. Lily said 8x10 work is $100. Add costs of mat and frame, and I do sell some. 8x10. God, that is cheap too, though. Especially, I've seen your work, Lily. That is really, you're not charging enough. Art of Raven D said I do square inch plus additional percentage on. Oh wait, do you mean $100 per square inch or $100 total? Art of Raven D said, I do square inch plus an additional % on top depending on the size and round to the nearest fifth. The smaller the piece, the more per square inch. Yeah, plus you want to keep in mind too, I do change the price a little bit. Like I used to have a whole square inch like breakdown for stuff, but sometimes somebody wants a really complicated background. I'm going to charge more for that. Like I'll just toss on an extra couple $100 because I know this is going to take me, you know, an extra week of work. So that is something else I will add on how complicated it is. I don't always go by square inch. I mean, I'll use that as a base, but then I'll toss some on top. And then for me, honestly, what I do now, I'm like, okay, used to charge $1,200 for, let's say, what size was that? My brain shut down, the horse I'm working on now. I used to charge $1,200 for a 24 by 30 inch. So that's big. Now, I'd be more like $2,000 because inflation. That is what I would like, that is how much stuff has gone up. So sometimes I just round up like that's about how much more. Like I just raised the price from where my base was when I used to have it figured out per square inch. I just keep base going up from there. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you need another buckwheat? You are blowing through these like nothing, huh? There you go. Let's see. Unicorn Art said, what are some of the best ways to get your artwork in front of people for those of us that are very shy or homebound? Well, I'm homebound. I'm not shy, obviously. Social media, really. Social media is better than even in-person art shows. In-person, I don't like in-person art shows. They're a lot of work. Like, let's say, like Aquashella. I won't do it again. I don't even know that I would ever do another art show like that. It is so much work. It's exhausting, and you don't make enough. You never really make enough for that. Plus, a lot of those shows are outdoors. Well, what happens when it rains? Your artwork is all out there, and it's high risk. Almost all my artwork, when it has been damaged, the majority of those pieces were when I took them to an art show. I get scuffs, I get dings, somebody knocks something over. Like it is, and you can do a lot to help minimize that, but it still happens. So you're high risk of something being stolen, of something being blown over, of it getting rained on. Like I don't like doing that sort of like the art shows like that. I don't do them anymore. I don't think it's worth it. Now, I'm not saying it's never worth it. Some people do it and make a lot of money. Good. I don't. Most don't. So social media, promoting it on social media. Now, if you work big, let's say you like to do really big paintings, that's not easy to ship. Then it may be, and most people aren't going to pay, you know, $10,000 for a painting that they've not seen in person. So there's that too, if, you know, depending on how large you went. So some stuff, it is better to do local. I actually used to post on Craigslist that it was available for commissions, and I got some work that way. So I don't know if you still can, or people, no matter what you post, someone flags it and it gets pulled down anyway. But Craigslist is trash. But yeah, social media is really the way to go. Like you are going to get in front of more people, and I really like Instagram Reels. I think that they can do well, but like I said, go look at Pinstripe Chris and look at how good his content is. So he's not just making a video. Like my videos are usually terrible that I post Reels of. I'm like, they're half-baked. I'm not putting the work that Chris puts into his of getting all these cool angles and the way he films them. Look at the way he does that and try to do that with your work. He's like one of the best examples of good content that is good with Instagram. You only need to post a couple times a week. You don't need to post every day anymore like you used to. Post a couple good videos, one a week, if it's good, is going to work. But there's not really that much sense anymore in trying to build a following on, like those numbers don't matter so much as the views that you get, as the reactions you get, the interactions you get. That's what's going to matter. So whether it be Instagram, Facebook, whatever, trying to get it in front of as many people as possible is going to come down to making content that is interesting. I'm obviously still learning that skill, but yeah. Let's see. Oh, I just jumped too far. Nick said, "Is he a vampire?" Yeah, he pinches a lot when he's not getting what he wants. He has a lot of opinions on things. Art of Raven D said, I sold an 8x10 not realistic charcoal drawing with an 11x14 inch mat for a 165. That's reasonable for charcoal, especially if it's not so realistic. Let's see. Lily said, my buyers want reality and bold colors. That I see a lot. Like I find that to be an easier thing to sell for sure. Colors are very, are you done? Oh, you want that? Go ahead. How about a kingfisher? Oh, that's, I've got to keep finding good photos of those. Let me write that down. That, you can't even read my writing. Let's, whoops. Write that again. Lily said, talk about tax issues with selling, like having a tax number and collecting tax sales. That is going to vary from state to state. You need to contact a, ideally talk to a tax person who is going to know that. I am not giving any, that is something I'm not touching tax advice at all. I am not comfortable with that. There's so many legal things in that. Yeah, no, I'm out. I'm not going, I will never go near that one. Art of Raven D said, I feel lucky that I live in a state that doesn't collect sales tax, just have to deal with deductions and what I owe whatever state and federal wants from me. Yeah, that's what Joseph said. If you're not in Texas, yours will be different. Taxes are a weird topic. And even in Texas, like, I don't even know what they are half the time. I have to go with what my tax person wants. There you go. I don't really sell that much, so it's not like something that's that big of a deal for me. Let's see. Yeah, B said, I don't think it's just you. Most aren't getting views. And I'm seeing that from people who use, like, everybody's views are down. One of the problems when it comes to YouTube especially, you used to be able to be like, okay, I want to learn how to draw an acrylic painting of a cow. And you could type that in. And you're going to get hundreds of pages of artists showing you how to paint that until you see the painting that you're like, okay, I want to follow along with that one. You could scroll page after page after page until you found the perfect one. Now, go look for that same thing. Acrylic painting of a rose, acrylic painting of whatever. You're going to get 5 that are mostly to do with what your search was. Maybe, maybe not. It may be from somebody who doesn't even speak English. So, and that's another thing. I'm like, why are you showing me videos that the people are in India? They don't speak English. I don't even know why YouTube's like, we know what you want to see. You're showing me content that's not in my language. In what world did you think that? I've never watched a video. Like, what? I know you're a good baby. So YouTube is not as good at getting the content they think you want to see. They're not that good at it. How many videos? I have to try to remember people I used to follow because I don't get suggested their content anymore. So that's really freaking annoying. But they also will show you the top 5 and then related to, suggested for you, new to you. You'll start getting things on cars, on things that have nothing to do. Like, I watch a lot of political content, so I will search for something to do with painting, and YouTube's like, nah, you want to watch politics. Here's a news channel. No, I don't. That's not what I was in the mood for right now. I wanted a cow, acrylic painting. Why can't you show me that? When I wanted to see oil pastel videos, tutorials and stuff, when I was getting back into it, I wanted to see the type of videos that other people were uploading to get some, motivation and stuff. They weren't going to show me that. Show me a couple half-baked videos that weren't very good, and I know there's more than that out there. But YouTube does not, you can't find what you're looking for anymore. And so this is one of the main, it's a huge reason on why everyone's views are down. Because there's no functioning search engine on YouTube. Same thing, Google. Google, we all say, I need to search for something, Google it. You don't get everything anymore. They're like, here's the top 50 things we think you're interested in it. Whereas before, you could just scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll until you found what you wanted. Now they're like, now we curated this, and this is what you get, not everything. So I need a better search engine. Let me know what you guys are using. Not Microsoft either. So no one uses Bing. Let's be realistic. But yeah, that's one of the reasons that a lot of the views for everybody are down. There's more reasons, but that's a huge one. You can't get found. That's how people used to find me. Not anymore. If you're not in the top 5, you don't get found. Lily said, I do yearly taxes, but it's just a thought. New people need to think about tax responsibility in their state. Was a thought. No, it's a good subject. You're right, but it's so complicated, and you get into some serious legal stuff. I'm like, nope, I'm out. I'm just not comfortable at all with that topic, giving any sort of advice. Honestly, tax stuff scares the crap out of me. Here's me going on a rant. One of my biggest complaints about tax stuff is I hire a tax person. I'm going to pay up the rear for a tax. Well, actually, my tax person right now is cheap, but I used to pay, $800 to have my taxes done. Every year, I have to pay so much money I don't have to pay more money, and then I'm hoping that my tax person did it right. I have no way of knowing if they're right or not. there's no way for me to understand these tax laws. There's so many, like, you can deduct this, but you can't do, there's so much involved. I'm just hoping my tax person is right. And that it drives me crazy. I mean, I'm not a fan of big government, so there's that. But it drives me crazy that this is so complicated that you can be completely screwed because the tax person you hired didn't do something right. I'm big on following the laws. I want to make sure everything's legal. But it drives me crazy that we have a system in place that you're like, the IRS, there's a meme that goes around where the IRS is like, you owe us money. And the person's like, okay, great, how much? Well, what is it? We know, but we're not going to tell you. You need to figure it out for yourself. That's basically what it feels like. And I'm terrified of tax stuff. So I just, hope my tax person is doing her job right. And yeah, so nope, that is not one that scares me. IRS is scary. Let's see. Raven said, show off yourself using a projector to trace. Maybe you'll get the views in the comments. No, JK, don't do that. I know she's talking about making it, you'll get all the negative people. I just block it, honestly. It's actually on one of my banned words, so I have to pre-approve comments. Cheating, tracing, those are some of my banned words. Or like where I have to pre-approve when somebody's going to be a jerk about it. But yeah, you want to get people worked up, show them actual tools that artists use on a regular basis. They don't like that. They don't like, and it's always people who aren't good at art. They're newer and they're not good. So they think that if you're good, you have to be cheating. And it's like, no, I just use tools available to me. Why are you so cute? I know, baby bird. Do. Gracious Valley said, TikTok is not worth it. I had 3 views with 3 likes and it showed not another soul. That's not how it's supposed to work. It used to be worth it, but then they set up business pages and ads. Oh, I haven't used TikTok in so long. Art of Raven D said, a lot of artist reels don't even interest me. Most of it is just controversial, some meme statement or painting. And like with me, all I really watch with reels and stuff are animals. That's what I like to see. DJ said, have a great night, all. Thank you for the great stream, Lisa. Thank you, mods. And sweet French fry. Be well, all. Good night. Good night, DJ, if you're still here. B's not a fan of TikTok. Yeah, I don't use it. I may just be too old. Art of Raven D, let's see. You've got more views. Yeah, Boo Peep said, that's infuriating. If I sign up for all the videos, I want all the videos, right? And so I have the paid account it came free with my last phone, the free, like, upgraded for 6 months, YouTube Premium. And then I kept it because, oh my God, it's amazing. But I was like, this is amazing. I don't have to watch ads. There's no ads anymore with YouTube Premium. I actually like the YouTube Premium music because it's like as good as Pandora, if not better. Actually, it's better than Pandora. But anyway, I love my premium account. However, I thought that because I was getting premium, like I'll watch so many more videos because I'm going to be able to find more. And sometimes you don't really want to try a new creator because you're like, I have to sit through a 30-second video or whatever. And it may be terrible the first 5 seconds. I'm going to know if I can, like maybe they just talk too slow for me. I don't like when people talk slow. Surprise, huh? I talk fast. Like my brain, that's just how fast my brain works. Someone talks slow, they lose me. So if it's going to be somebody who I'm not interested, they're not really, creating good content, I can tell in the first few seconds, but I don't want to sit through a video to find out and waste my time through those first few seconds. Well, now that I don't have those ads, I don't have to deal with that anymore. I'm like, I'm going to find so much new content and great. And you can't search for stuff like my Elgato, my Stream Deck. It's a Stream Deck, I can talk. It's what I use for doing the live stream so I can easily change from camera to camera. When I first got this is the most popular device out there for live streaming. Like there's gonna be so much good videos, so many people giving tutorials and tips and tricks, and it can do a lot. There's gonna be so many videos. 5. One of them was someone who's popular, something gaming, Sensei Gaming, I don't know what his name is. He had one video that was helpful, kind of, but it wasn't giving me all the tips and tricks. And that was one where the rest of them were all in India. I had like 4 suggestions that were from India, not speaking English. So Hindi, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not well traveled. Peekaboo. I speak bird in English and that's it. But anyway, I'm like, why are you suggesting content that I can't consume? And that's the 5, and there's no more. It would not suggest more for the Stream Deck. Now, maybe if I searched again, I'd find something different today. That was years ago. But it was like, this is where YouTube has gotten to where you cannot, they're not even when I do a search showing me what I want. So yeah, I hate the current YouTube algorithm, like passionately, because as a user and a creator, because as a user, I'm like, I've got YouTube Premium. I can watch all this stuff. Good luck finding something I want. No. You know, unless I want to watch Mr. Beast, which I don't. So yeah. Oh, sorry, I dropped it. There's now a buckwheat on the floor. I know, don't go get it. Here, get this one. Let's see. Art of Raven D said, I like following Lisa because she seems more about the art than trying to stick with these weird drama trends all the time. I don't like drama. Well, those of you in Discord know. Oh, you going over there? You gonna help yourself here? You can come over here and have snacks. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the dramas. I like a nice calm life. Everybody be happy. Drama just makes people, exactly. I don't want people to be mad. And that's like with the Discord where I was like, okay, that we're going time out on this conversation that somebody was causing some, well, drama. I don't like drama. I don't enjoy, I don't want to like, there's just no fighting, no drama, no drama. Joseph said, and mad people can't keep their fingers off the keys. That is definitely true. Well, it's because it inspires an emotion. When you get mad, it inspires an emotion and you're like, I feel like I have to respond to this. Yeah, no. And usually the people who are responding with emotion are not giving the best information. I mean, you talk about that with the animal groups. I see that all the time. The people who get all emotional and they're mad and they're yelling and it's like, but you're wrong. I'm over here like, I'd give you facts, but I don't care enough. Like, I'm not going to argue. The people with the facts usually are the people who don't want to argue. They're just like, I'm out. I don't care. That's me in these animal groups. Okay. Let's see. Scrolling down. Nancy said, I really enjoyed watching tonight. Thank you. Good night. Good night, Nancy, if you're still here. Unicorn Art said, showing selling on social media, can you easily limit where you sell, such as continentally to the US? Also, what is a safe way to collect payment? So I collect payment through, I think I use Stripe and PayPal. I don't even know what else is on my site right now. I got mad at PayPal at one point and took it down, and I don't remember if I ever put it back. Don't. It might be there still. It might still be an option now. Here, you want that? This is what we do all night. Like the last hour before he goes to bed, I'm supposed to sit and hand feed him. I can put a bunch on the table and it doesn't matter. That buckwheat, he wants me to hand feed him buckwheat. And he takes it and stands on my tablet and likes to eat it there. But anyway, what were we talking about? Showing and selling art on social media. I don't think selling your art on social media works. That's not to say you're not going to get any sales from it. It's not like it used to be. I'm old enough to remember when you could post something for sale and people would see it. If you post something that is for sale on social media, the only people who will ever see it and comment are going to be the scammers. Like 99% of the time. It is very hard to get a sale through social media unless you're advertising, because their algorithm knows that that you're selling it. They're not going to show it. You have to pay for the advertisement to get it in front of real buyers. Now, if you pay for the advertisements, you are supposed to be able to change your settings so it only goes to the US, or if you're in the US, you can do that. However, it doesn't always work. Because some people are using a VPN and they're actually in India making a whole lot of money doing paid per click. There's drama that that'll take me too long because we're wrapping up now. But stop. Why you gotta bite my ear? He's like, because that's how I get buckwheats. Yeah. Oh, sorry, wrong fingers. There you go. So yeah, I don't like using, the safest way is to have your own, do what I do. I've got my website. I have everything listed for sale, and you don't have to have an expensive, fancy website. You could get like one of the cheapy Weebly or one of those websites. I don't know how much they're charging. You can get through the service I use. I want to say it's like $15 a month. Mine's more because I have more traffic going through. Ow! No, we're not going to bite. Stop. You're being a jerk. Stop being a jerk. No, I'm not rewarding you for that one. You're starting to bite too hard. So don't beep like you're cute. You can go on the table and feed yourself now. Here, you want to go here? Of course you don't want to go there. You want me to hand feed you or you're going to bite me. You're getting too bitey. But anyway, where was I rambling about? Oh, have your own website. Wherever you're selling, you can have listings on Etsy if you want. Wherever you've got your stuff for sale where they can make a purchase through that website, not Facebook. When somebody has to contact you on Facebook and you're making like, okay, well, I'll send you a PayPal invoice. This is where you start getting riskier and you're going to get more scammers involved. The easiest thing to do, if you are selling your work, always have it somewhere else. eBay, Etsy, your own website. Wherever you have it, don't bite. I know I can hear. Here, go here. Okay, go. There you go. Now you can eat all your snacks right there. He's on my here. Is that, yeah, he's going to sit there. Eat those snacks. You got snacks right next to you now. Anyway, when you have somebody who wants to make a purchase, you send them to your website. You send them to Etsy. They make the purchase there. It cuts out the scammers. I mean, it is possible for somebody to like pay for something and then do a reverse transaction, whatever, a buyback. I forget what it is. I'm not using the right term because my brain is done for the night. But there are ways that you could still get scammed, but most scammers are not going to, the most common scammers are not going to go to Etsy. They're not going to bother. They're going to say, no, I need to pay you directly. So don't you bite. I know you're getting to be, you've had a long night. So it's like a kid. He starts getting sleepy and bitey because he's not getting what he wants. Fine, I'll hand feed you. So yeah, I'm rewarding the bad behavior. But anyway, that's your best bet. Send them off-site to where you're selling your artwork. Your artwork should not, if you are serious, and I always get people go, well, I can't afford a website. I get that, but if you're selling, that's part of selling. If you want to keep yourself as safe as possible, you're going to have some other website, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can get pretty cheap setups, or Etsy and eBay. Don't. Those are definitely options for you that are much, much safer than trying to sell on social media. And then you can advertise on social media. No one's going to see it. It doesn't matter. Facebook and Instagram know when you're advertising. And if you're not paying to advertise, you're not getting the sale. But, you know, it's not getting in front of anybody. But, yeah, there you go. Don't. Dance. Stop. You're biting my ears, and I would like you to, actually, here, we'll just put my hair in front of my ear. Ha, there. Where am I? We'll wrap this up. Oops, this is. I know, beep. I'm just going through, making sure I'm caught up. I apologize if I'm skipping anybody's questions. When will you start drawing? Oh, you're late. The drawing's done. Back the video up. You are very late. The last hour is where we answer questions in chat. But you can just back up and watch it. Joanne said, Stat, do you think a parrotlet would travel well in a motorhome? Yeah. I don't see why not. I mean, as long as you're letting him out of the cage to hang out with you. I don't see why it would be like if I were to live in a motorhome and was yeah. Well, I'd like to take you with me places. You can get cute little bags and stuff that you can carry them around with you so you can take them places. Stop. You, of course, need to make sure that the motorhome is not getting too hot. That would be my concern. Like if you park it somewhere and you go for a way, if that motorhome overheats, that will cook like they are more sensitive to heat. So, but that's going to be true of any bird, like any animal really that you're keeping in it. But if you're able to control the temperature and you know that you can control that temperature, yeah. Temperature and fumes. Like, you know how sometimes you go and get gas and it fills the car? That would concern me with a bird. Those are things I would research what other people do about. Serving Artist Collective said, I was using Mozilla, but DuckDuckGo browser at the moment. No ads, no traffic. Oh, I'll have to check them out. I haven't used it. I've heard of it, but I totally forgot about them. Yes, so did Raven. Let's see. Joanne said, I would love a lesson on how to draw a mother moose and baby moose. Okay, that's more than a live stream. That's a lot. Actually, and the thing with moose, I'm not going to write it down right now because I have forever been on the search for a good reference photo of a moose I wanted to paint. I just haven't found one. Like, I have not found the right photo. I don't know why. I can't find the right photo. But that's on my list of not a baby and a mom, just any moose, like a good photo that I want. Let's see. Looks like, okay, we are wrapping it up. It is 10:04. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to our moderators, Joseph and Nick. Make sure to check out their channels. I don't think Clark Fine Art is here tonight, but check out their channels. Joseph live streams every week. Link is in the video description. Nick doesn't upload often, but when he does, it's really good. It's something you definitely want to check out. You're going to learn something. So definitely check out their channels. I will see you guys next week. What is next week? Hold on. I forget what next week was. but I've got my tablet, so I can actually see. Let's see, next week, February 26th. A chicken! Oh, we're doing a chicken and pan pastel and colored pencil, and his face is all funny. I love this chicken photo. I'm super excited for next week. So the boys will be back with us next week, and I think we are good. Thank you guys again. I'm sure there's something else I need to say, but I don't know what it is. So thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye. And thank you for the super chats. Which camera? I know.